Okay, so this is a really important concept because when I work with my clients, it's not weight loss as a primary goal that we have. It's actually fat loss. Because some people, they'll lose weight, but they could lose 10 pounds of fat and lose 10 pounds of muscle and connective tissue and bone density. And that you do not want to do. That's why weight is not that important. I like looking at measurements. Measurements are great. So if you walk into a seamstress office, like a seamstress, and you're going to get a dress or a suit, whatever, tailored, they don't ask for body fat percentage. They don't ask for how much muscle mass you have. They don't ask what your body weight is. They look at your measurements. So measurements are everything. That's the way your body looks in clothes. That's the way your body looks, period. So, weight is secondary. Measurements are primary. And this is the whole example with the seamstress again. And it's really important because that's something I like to get across, because most people, when they lose weight, there's a lot of times that they actually lose muscle. So many, as they start a strict diet program, they can lose up to 50% muscle or more of their total results. And so I just get into kind of the idea that you got to be really careful. You actually want to build muscle as you're losing fat. I had a client that I worked with a while back, and he was probably 140 pound male. And his waist measurement was like a 37 around the belly button. After 5 months later, after working with him, his waist measurement was like a 32 and a half, and he was still 140 pounds. So he was gaining muscle and losing fat almost at the same rate. And he looked great playing flag football. He felt great. His performance at work and on the field were exceptional. Okay, so toning and shaping is the same as building muscle and losing fat. So in the world of fitness and exercise, you hear the word toning or shaping constantly. That's synonymous with losing fat and gaining muscle. So the best way to build muscle and lose fat, number one, I would always put weight training or strength training. Number two would be HIIT, high intensity interval training. Number three, steady state. Number four, walking. And then please note, the higher the intensity is not always better. If you're under a lot of stress, number one and number two, strength training and HIIT training, if it's too intense, it can completely burn you out. And I've seen people burn out with kickboxing classes and waking up early in the morning and doing some type of class that's far too intense given their stress levels. So you really need to find the right exercise program for you. So one of the myths that I hear quite a bit, and this is only with females, is that they're afraid they're going to get too big. And gaining muscle is incredibly difficult. And you want to build muscle because it's a way to raise your metabolic rate. The only time a female will so-called kind of get bulky is if they gain muscle. Let's say if they gain muscle, like 2 pounds of muscle in 8 weeks, but then they gain 4 pounds of fat. And the only reason why that would happen is because their nutrition program is not dialed in. But if they have a good nutrition program, they should be losing fat far more than they're building muscle, because it's actually easier to lose fat than build muscle. So that's a common myth. The easiest way to tone is by lifting weights and gaining muscle. It's not as easy as most people think. On average, a person may lose up to 8 pounds of fat in a month. And you could probably only gain maybe 1 to 2 pounds of muscle per month, depending on your size, male, female, etc. But it's not an easy process, but it's an important process. And the last thing, body fat is just a symptom. So if you have excess body fat, so you probably will say to yourself, oh, I'm overweight. Well, the way to think about it is you have some excess body fat. And then the question is, what are the root causes? And you always think about it in those terms because fat is just a symptom. It's from possibly not eating the right kind of calories or eating too many calories or not moving enough, etc. So we always want to go back to the root cause or root causes of why that body fat is there to begin with. Hi there. Want to achieve your health goals but unsure where to start? Our online holistic health coaching program is the perfect solution. Here's what we offer: comprehensive guidance on nutrition and dietary choices, simple tools for tracking your progress, the secrets of medicinal foods for successful weight loss, expert advice on the ideal exercises for sculpting your body, powerful motivational techniques to keep you on track, plus plenty of extra resources. Join us at ShawnPhillipsTraining.com and take the first steps towards a healthier, happier you.